What is up, my friend? Donnie Baker here with the LPR Sound Foundation. Today I want to talk to you about a little something. Look, listen, a home studio doesn't have to sacrifice quality or quantity, or you don't have to have a gigantic commercial studio to do your work. Okay, let's talk about a budget-friendly home recording studio that you can make your money, that you can basically quit your day job and utilize your home studio to make your money that you love, doing something that you love to do. So let's go talk about this. So I've got some notes, so I might be looking down a little bit. What are the importance of having a dedicated space in your home for doing your work? It's absolutely, it's not required. Yeah, you could put your system at the end of your bed in your bedroom if that's all you have. You could maybe sacrifice putting your car in a garage and build your studio in a garage. You could basically take over the entire living room and kitchen area and build a booth and a dedicated recording room in the living room. Your significant other might be pissed, but at least you'd have a big studio. You know what I mean? But no, listen, having a dedicated space that is your studio is kind of required. It's psychological benefits of having a dedicated space for creativity. You know, you build it and make it vibey, and you get your lava lamp and your candles, and yeah, it's awesome. And how a separate room can help you be a little more focused in your productivity. You know, you're not distracted by the TV. You're not distracted by your friend watching TV, your roommate or your wife watching TV, and you're like, oh, is that Price is Right? Yeah, you're not going to do that. You know, you're going to be focused. It's your job. This is your business. So treat it as such. Choosing the right room for your home studio. You kind of don't want a room next to the neighbors, you know, especially if you're in a city like Los Angeles and your neighbors you can reach out and touch your neighbor's house. Yeah, you kind of don't want that. How about some essential equipment that you should have in your home studio? Some key pieces of equipment. Basically, man, you need a computer, you need an interface, you need a microphone. Maybe if you're the producer, you're the musician and you're creating and you're writing, you might need a MIDI keyboard. You know, these are the basic essentials that you're gonna have to have. Maybe a cable to plug in your microphone. Simple stuff. It's easy. You know, you're not going to need a big giant setup with patch bays and outboard unless you have that. If you have that, yes, by all means, please jump in. Some affordable alternatives. You don't have to have the biggest, fanciest, big giant thing. You know, you can start with a Focusrite 2i2. I still have mine that I started with. Yeah, it works great. I've had it for 22 years. Still working. If I need it, I got it. The importance of researching and comparing prices on microphones. Yeah, you don't have to have a $14,000 microphone. Yeah, they're great to have that because it attracts a certain level of client, a certain caliber of client. But do you have to have it? Absolutely not. In this room that I'm in right now, this is my Studio B. Yeah, I know I have a commercial studio. I'm not in a bedroom. This could be a bedroom. You wouldn't even know it because I made it look like a studio. I made it as a productive space that I work in. Could be a commercial studio, could be a bedroom. You'll never know. But no, we keep a microphone up in this room ready to work and would keep it turned on all the time, and it's ready to go. And honestly, it's an Aventone CV12. You can buy these at Guitar Center all day long for $450, $400 if you got a friend that works there. And honestly, I can't tell it apart from the $14,000 mic in a mix. Justifying spending $14,000 on a microphone is tough for me. I don't think you have to, but if you feel like you need to have that big fancy microphone to attract the clients that you want to attract, certainly, by all means, jump in. Optimizing the acoustics in your room, making your room sound great. Cut out the reflections. The reflections are what's going to hurt you. You know, maybe a bass trap in the corner. Get rid of some of those low frequencies from bouncing around and swirling around your head while you're trying to mix. If nothing else, at the bottom line, mix on headphones. You know, that way you're not going to deal with the reflections in your room until you can afford some panels, till you can afford some foamy stuff to stick on the wall. You know, just get rid of the reflections. That's going to help you out. Understanding the room acoustics and how this works. Do a little Google search. You know, say, well, what do the reflections in my room look like? You know, there's tons of apps and software that you can get that run a simulated thing, and it'll tell you where your reflection points are. The poor man's way to do it is to take a mirror and set it up in the same angle as your speaker and look at it from your mix position and see where it lands on the wall. There's your reflection point. Really simple. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out where your room reflections are coming from and handle them. Cut them down. I'll link to a DIY thing right here where you can go build your own room panels for pennies. Well, not pennies, but you know, a couple of bucks. You buy the stuff at Home Depot, it's already pre-cut, boom. You don't even need skills, man. Just to, you don't need to be a carpenter. A hammer, a couple of nails, and a staple gun, bro, you're set. You're all good. Setting up your studio for business, you got to create a comfortable space for your people to come to, especially if you're bringing people into your home studio. You might grow into having to go get a commercial spot, which is kind of what happened in my case. We don't really want a bunch of people coming to my house, so I went and got a commercial place. You got to make your clients comfortable, have a nice couch, a nice place for them to relax while they're working. While you're working on the mix, you might be doing edits or something, you want them hanging out on the couch, and dude, you got to offer maybe some coffee, some waters, some sodas in the fridge. You got to make them comfortable. You got to make them feel good. You got to create a comfortable and inspiring workspace for your clients. Organizing your cables, man. If you walk into somebody's studio and there's just, excuse the expression, shit everywhere, cables and stuff, and empty cans and cigarette butts, bro, nobody wants to work there. Somebody might, but not the clients that I want to work with. You know what I mean? So yeah, organize your cables, man. I may be a little more OCD about it than most, but if I see a cable under my desk that's out of place, I kind of put it together, get some wire ties, stuff it up under there where people can't see it, and that's a big thing. It's a huge thing. Implementing a workflow that promotes productivity and creative flow. Have a way that you do things on a daily. Okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to check my emails. I'm going to return my emails. I'm going to do the invoicing from yesterday. I'm going to see what got paid, and I'm going to put that into the QuickBooks. I'm going to make sure that I had to go to Costco and get some water, so I got to make sure I put that receipt. Have a workflow. From this time to this time, you do this. From this time to this time, you do that. Yeah, get into a flow of things, man. At 3 o'clock, have a nap. Yeah, it's just one of those things, man. Just create a workflow, and this helps keep things moving along. Helps you keep your sanity, where you're not dispersed and just jumping all over the place. It really helps, leveraging free resources, online communities, man, become members of Facebook groups, jump into paid communities, hire a coach, hire a mentor. These things I have a coach. I pay someone to help me come up with ideas and pick my brain. And actually I had a meeting today with my coach, and he's like, hey, did you try that thing I talked to you about last time? Yes, and it did a thing, and I changed the name, and it worked out better. I got more views, I got more hits, I got more people seeing me, so yeah, hire a coach. Okay, if you don't have the money for a coach right now, jump in on a free Facebook group. I've got one you can jump in on. Just go to Facebook and look up Learn Pro Recording. Boom, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Jump in. There's 50 people in there. Ask a question. Post a comment, post a picture of your studio, say, hey, what do you think? Yeah. And we're a safe community, and we're pretty supportive. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody in the community hate on other people in the community. It just doesn't work that way, Explore online tools and things that, so if you gotta look something up. Say you wanna learn how to use Melodyne. You're not really sure. Bro, Google. Look it up. Google, YouTube. Go to YouTube and look it up. If you just Google something, it's going to give you options. Here's some information. Nowadays, the biggest thing comes up is the AI stuff, right? Look it up, and then the next thing that comes up is some links you can go click. Next thing that comes up is some YouTube videos, bro. Seriously. You know what I mean? But definitely jump in on some communities, man, where you can support other people as well as have people support you. Learn as much as you can learn, grow as much as you can grow, reach out to your peers, reach out to people in your neighborhood, reach out to people in your community, not only online, but your local community. Go to free events, go to free workshops, jump in on a workshop, jump in on something that's free. Yeah, you probably got to give your email address up to get it. You can always unsubscribe. It's not a big deal, man. How about some free DAWs? I got a link right here, actually. So let me share this with you right here. This is from Steven Slate, and this is the top 10 best free DAWs for production. There's GarageBand, there's Waveform, Traction Waveform, there's Cakewalk by BandLab, Studio One has a free thing, Linux Multimedia Studio. The list goes on and on and on, and all of these things are free. All of these DAWs are free. Get you started. Reaper's a good one. Luna's a good one. Luna's, I don't know if, Luna is free. There's a free version of Luna. If you're not in the commercial game, you probably don't have to have Pro Tools. But if you do plan to work in the commercial game, if you do plan to be a freelance audio engineer that's going to work in a commercial studio, such as mine, you're going to probably have to learn Pro Tools. If you don't know anything about anything, go learn Pro Tools. Again, YouTube's your greatest friend for that. So learn that. I mean, that is a big deal. Pro Tools is a big deal if you're going to work in a commercial studio. If you're only working on your own stuff, you're only working on, it's just you and your clients, and your clients, they're looking at you as a producer. Logic, Ableton Live, FL, these are your tools. My tool is Pro Tools because I record. I record other people's music. I track, I mix, and I pretty much do everything in Pro Tools. Because we are a commercial studio, our clients come here, they're looking for Pro Tools. So these are just tips that can help you get started. Now listen, if you do have any questions, please reach out, info@learnprorecording.com. Just shoot me an email. I'm pretty much available to answer questions anytime. I have a free ebook that I'd like to give you. It's the Studio Business Growth Guide. Just go check it out. Go to learnprorecording.com/studio growth formula. Drop your email, download the Audio Business Growth Guide. It's awesome. It's a little ebook. It's like 25, 30 pages long. Tons of information in there for you to help you get started with your business as an audio engineer, music producer, studio owner. Hey, I appreciate you hanging out. Have a great week. Donnie B, I'm out.